work it, make it, do it, make sense.
We're here at Devoxx UK. I'm with Will May, who's talked about monoliths to microservices, which is something that we all love hearing about. I think everybody's probably got at least one war story where they've been desperately trying to move from something huge and archaic to the kind of goal state. Do you think it always produces the desired outcome? If you decide on a project, right, I'm going to move from my monolith to a microservice, is it sometimes just aspirational, but actually it doesn't quite work out?
Well, I think whenever you have such a big project, there is always a danger that either you'll get halfway through and then simply stop, or you'll simply end with a massive ball of mud. But you need to be careful when you try and break up a monolith. I mean, even the Twitter, it had to have monorail. I think they still got some of that monorail around somewhere in their architecture. So you'll probably never ever get rid of your monolith. But the idea is to try and shrink it down to a more manageable size. Having said that, there's nothing wrong with a monolith. I mean, people do have monoliths in their architecture, and they work fine with it. You need to make sure you're not going to microservice simply because it's a new buzzword. You need to actually make sure you're going to that because it's going to be useful for you.
Yeah, and that you're not doing it because you feel like you should, because...
Yeah, just because it's cool.
And everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, precisely. Just like you shouldn't be putting everything in containers simply because everyone tells you should be going to containers.
Yeah.
Netflix, they just use AMI images. They just have each server has its own instance, and that's it. I mean, you can easily argue that you can save a lot of money by shrinking down the size of each server into its own small container, and you have much bigger instances to run on and save money that way. But it depends on what works for you.
Yeah. What's the most important thing that you've learned in your approach when you're going from a monolith to a microservices? What are the steps that you take? Like, do you plan out? Do you start by drawing diagrams and planning everything out, or do you just say, okay, first of all, I'll just remove this chunk? And what have you learned?
The steps are one too many. So getting your first microservice is difficult. Then when you get your second one, you need to start worrying about how do I talk. And then once you get many, you start having to think to the whole coordination business. So getting the first step is get one microservice out. Yeah. That's the key. That'd be the first difficult point. But generally, I would say, it's generally the good practice to go the whole BDD approach.
Domain.
To basically try and have your microservice focus on a single bit, coherent item of your application. So I was actually at the party yesterday. We were talking about distributed transactions. Yeah. And so you shouldn't have to worry about having distributed transactions across your many microservices, because that means that those microservices are actually talking about the same thing. Yeah. So there should be a coherent area of your application, such as payment maybe. Yeah. Or delivery. That's a key part. Or maybe another good one will be simply trying to provide a sane API in front of some ugly third party. Yeah. API. So you kind of strangle the ugliness, as it were. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So you start with your first microservice, which will be very difficult, and then so presumably you have it where it's very difficult, it gets a bit easier, and then suddenly it gets difficult again because you go from having a few microservices to many, and then you have to think about the data separation and
then also orchestration. But fortunately now, and when we did the Nottingham High Streets, we helped them to move to a more microservice architecture, and when we did that, there was only Mesos was the only real option. Yeah. Fortunately, Kubernetes, while they're still, Mesos is still a very competent software. The fine thing with Kubernetes is that you have a lot of stuff built in. It's easy to get all the bits rolling together. Yeah. So that's generally where the the industry seems to be focusing on having Kubernetes to actually manage your microservices.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us